Yes, yes.
Yes,
But it's a whiteboard.
yes, it's a whiteboard to show you
Okay.
what we want to draw, what we want to develop, and basically how we can use the Flexbox. Okay, let's pause. Maria, are you back?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
here.
Yes,
Sorry,
that's great.
I
Yes, that's
forgot the
great.
first
Like
connection.
this is a Dave block, or this is our container, and what we want basically in the container we have three boxes like this. One, two, my I think it's understandable for you. Yes, that's it. Okay. I want to develop something like this in the Webflow using HTML and Webflow CMS, Webflow and using CSS Flexbox property. Okay. This is basically our purpose to develop, right? Let me show my screen. Let me show my dashboard. Yeah. Okay. First of all, I take a container, and in the container, let me use some background for the proper understanding. Yes, this is I took the background color. Yes, and just I am taking a 40 pixel padding on top, left and right. Yes. Okay. Now what we need? Basically we need three boxes inside the container. This is my first box. Let me assign a class of the like box item. Okay, and its background color is like red. No, like it's very ugly. Like something like this blue. Okay. Uh, yeah, and we have some heading inside it, like box A. Okay, and inside this box item I am also defining some padding to get some space from this heading, like 40 from top, 40 from left, 40 from right, and 40 from this. Okay. We need three boxes. Let me select this box item and use the command Control C and then Control V. Then now we have three boxes, right? Okay. By default, when we place any element inside the container, these are under each other, like box item, another box item, another box item. This is basically by default. Okay, but we want something like horizontal. So we need to use the property of the CSS Flexbox. How we can use? Just select its parent container, which is the parent of these boxes, right? It's the parent container, and just go here. This is display. Using display, you can, on the second one we have an option of the flex layout. You can read here on the above information. This is flex layout. Okay, just click on it. When user click on it, it's by default change it into horizontal layout. Okay. So now what is our purpose? We need some spaces between these boxes. For this, we have some properties here, like align center, uh, like you can say border around, a space between, sorry, this is the space between. Using this space between, uh, the parent container automatically defines some equal space between these boxes. Understand? Similarly, we have another property, space around. When user click on the space around, we have equal space on the sides and on between and in between these boxes. This is basically this flex box is basically used when user want when user want to handle the items like horizontally or vertically. If user want to handle it horizontally, then we have direction should be horizontal, right? Here is the horizontal. And if user want to handle it vertically like this, then user should have should need to select the vertical. Okay. And we can handle this by this way. So
Okay.
yes, so this is the basically this is the purpose of this is the purpose of the Flexbox. And this is the way how we can use it. uh, like uh, like if we have um, we also have another way to develop the same layout. And the another way is the CSS grid. Like from the display, I selected the Flexbox layout. We have another option is the grid layout. This is the third one, is the grid layout. Okay. Okay. Yes,
Okay.
yes, you can also give me some responses so I can understand you are also here.
You're here.
Yes, it's necessary to.
Yes, we are.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. We have another option is the grid box. Okay. What is the purpose of the grid box? If have totally 5 items. Okay. And we want 3 items on the first row and 2 items in another in the second row. Then what we can do, we can use Flexbox. Like let me copy this box items using Control C and make it 2 new copies. Now we have totally five uh, 5 boxes. It's D and it's E. Okay. Now what we can do, I just take its parent container. Okay. And instead of Flexbox, let me take the grid box. Just click on the grid. Yes. Now what we want 3 boxes in the first row and 2 boxes on the second row. So from here we can control how. Just click on add column. You can see there is 3 on the first and 2 on the second. If you want to change something, like you can play with these boxes, like now I just change this in this view. Similarly, I can, yes, something like this. Like you can say that using grid, you can control rows and columns at the same time, but with Flex you can control one thing. uh, you can control columns or rows, but in the grid you can control both things at the same time. I think these two concepts is clear now.
Yes, I It's clear. hear.
Yes, it's very necessary for both of you. You can play with these two things. Otherwise, you can't adopt it. You can't learn it. So it's very necessary. Like you can go home when you get a chance. You can develop something like this, like these 4 boxes. just a simple four boxes. Okay, one more thing I want to discuss. Mm, First of all, in the scenario of the flex box like this, we can handle it also. How we can handle it on the mobile view or tablet view? Like you can see, it's a tablet view. Now we have option to just convert it into the vertical view and add some top and bottom margins to remain the space between the boxes. Okay, now you can see that. Yes, please. Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay. Now you can see that it's also looking better on the mobile view, and it's not disturbing anything. Okay, just you can say that on the single click we make it responsive. Like in as you discussed, you also have some idea of HTML and CSS, and in the CSS we have media queries to control these things, these responsiveness mobile variants. But in the Webflow we have these things on the single click. Like I just click on the vertical and these things are handleable and responsive. Similarly, in the scenario of the grid box, yes. Now we have the situation of this, and how we can handle on the tablet or mobile variant. Just go. It's
Um,
automatic. Yeah, please.
Sorry, I
Yes,
do
please.
have a question regarding the responsiveness.
Yes,
I was
please.
talking to Sammy and Israel last time, and I saw, well, yeah, I saw like a tip on Webflow that if you put that, for example, as you said, whenever you have too much elements or you put them in a, yes, a weird structure, maybe if you are watching it on mobile, the sections will move, and yeah, that will move the elements down, right? So one trick was to put the minimum width, or no, the minimum height, sorry, to 100 viewport height, not the base height, but the minimum height. So that way, that should keep everything in its own section. But I don't know, what do you think about that? Should we do that?
Actually,
Like,
let me explain. With respect to height, we will only use height in very last option. If we don't have any other option, we will use height. But in general, you can say that we did not define any height to this box, but it have some specific height, because it's depend upon the content inside the box. And it also consider padding as a height. Like in this box we have 40 pixels from top and from bottom, and also this heading. Therefore it will define its height depend upon the content inside it. In to define, to use some fixed height or some max height in very last option, in very last situation, so we don't have another way, and we can use the height. But try you must need to try to avoid the height, because it will disturb you on the mobile variants, on the response in the responsiveness. If let's suppose I am giving you an example. Let's suppose I just define 100 view height on the desktop version, and when I go to the mobile version, you know it's 100 VW. But problem is that, sorry, 100 VH. But problem is that maybe content is stretch and not looking good, because it has some fixed height. If the content is more than 100 VH, then it will go outside the container, and it will looking very ugly. Therefore we try to avoid the height, and in very last option we can use it. And if we use height for the desktop variant, we may need to remove the height for our mobile or tablet variants. Understand?
Yeah,
Okay,
we
yes.
do.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah. So,
No
for
problem.
example, just one more question.
Yes,
So,
please.
for the sections, we shouldn't touch the height either.
Yes, if I define height to this container like 100 pixel or 100 VH, then if the content is more than the height, then it will goes outside of the container. Like let me show you. Like I defined the height here of 100 VH. Okay, like you can see it's now 100 VH. When I go to the smaller screen like this. Okay, this is let me show with the grid box. Oh, sorry, flex box. After that, I will come back to here on the using the flex box. Now you can say that you can see that its background is 100 view height, but it's going its children are going outside of the parent container because parent have some fixed height and the content is more than its height. I think it's clear now.
Okay. Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Thank.
yes,
Thank
you
you.
can similarly on the mobile variant, it's going outside of the parent container. Therefore, we try to avoid the if I use fixed height for the desktop variant, it's looking great. But now, what we need to do remove the fixed height from the tablet and other variants. We also have this option. Yes. Okay. What's the next thing? The next thing is yes, I am using grid and I will show you how to make it responsive in the scenario of the grid. I just go to a tablet variant. It's good automatically for the tablet variant. Let me go on the mobile landscape. It's not looking good. It's a little bit stretched. What we can do, just click on its edit grid, and instead of three columns, let we use here two columns and three rows. Now you can see it's looking much better. Similarly, for the mobile variant, it's disturbing the our structure. Just click on here. Instead of two columns, just used. We have basically five boxes. Therefore, we need to use five rows in this scenario. Now you can see it's looking good and it's proper responsive. Okay, so we have things on the clicks. Just need little bit focus and just need to know little bit standards. Okay, now one thing I want to show here, you can see that this box A, this box B is on the left side of the box. You can say the left align. Okay, basically by default it's left align. From here you can control it's left align. If I want to center line, I just click on here by using center align. Okay, but what happen if we have also an image inside it, like uh, yes, like if we have also an image inside it. Okay, and we want to make it now, just a minute. it's a class to this image, and let's suppose I defined it to 32 pixels. Okay. I just use this way for your proper understanding. Yeah. Now you can see that in the scenario of the text we have an option of center align. It will center align, but what is the proper way? What is the proper way to center the all elements to center the all elements inside the box? Like just select this box item, like, yes, like just select this box item which have heading 1 and an apple image. Okay, and go to here, display. Sorry, yeah, display. Just select, click flex this. Automatically by default, I just explained above, it's horizontally. Okay, but we need it in center. Just click on the vertical and click here from the center align. Now we have both elements in the center of the box. Now this is now these elements are center, like you can say that horizontally. We also need to center it vertically. We like we have these two options to control element horizontally and vertically. These two things we have to control in the vertically and horizontally. I think this point is also clear to both of you, right?
Yes.
You already know these things, or you don't have any idea?
No,
Okay,
we
I
you
didn't.
about it. I mean,
We,
I did the hard way. Like you
yeah,
said, this is like the
me too.
and clean right way, right?
no, we don't we mostly we tried to ignore the height. Yes, okay.
Now we
If
know.
you yes, that's great.
Yeah.
Now
Now
we know why responsiveness wasn't working.
yes, you can make it responsive on just single clicks like this. It's responsive. Okay. If you want a break of 5 minutes, you can take. What do you think? If you need, you can take a break of 5 minutes and we'll back.
I don't know. Do you want it?
No, me neither.
Okay,
We can
okay,
But
okay.
do
If
you?
no, no, I don't. I also don't need,
Okay.
actually. Sami, give me instruction for the break of 5 minutes between the lecture. If you want, you can. Otherwise, no problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. What is the next thing? Mm-hmm. I
I
just
have a question.
yes, please.
I used to move like the position. I think here is the CSS space
Positions.
in position. Yeah, what is the difference between position and like layout? I mean, what does position do? What does
What
it?
does this positions?
Yes, because
Okay.
I thought it did what layout does.
Okay. Let me explain with the example. Just give me 1 minute. I need to check the lecture is recording or not. Yes, it's recording. Okay. Yes. Okay. What is the purpose of the position? Basically, in the position, we have some different properties, like position static, like position relative, absolute, fixed, and sticky. Okay. What is static? Now, basically, I just click on this parent element, that which is container. I am making it to Flexbox for now. Okay. This container element, I just go to the position and we can see it by default. It have a property of the position static. Okay. Let's suppose, yes, I just show you another example of my one another ongoing project, pea salt. I am working also on this project in the Webflow. Mm, yes. Like you can see here, I used Flexbox are great, and and made these four boxes, and we have this yellow border. This yellow border is upside of the box. It's something, you can see that the border is above the box, and it's little bit downward and little bit right. So
Ye-
I Yes, so I for to make something like, to handle these situations, or to make something like this, we need to use positions. Okay. If I want to, if I want to make something like this, I need CSS position properties. Let me make the same thing, and you can better understand. Like this is the box item, and what I need a border like this. Okay. So one small thing I am adding here. If I want to add border radius, we can control from here. Like you can check the radiuses, the borders are changing. Okay. Let me define 20 border or something like this, but in here 8 is looking much better. So I need border in the, let's suppose, in the red color. Okay. So the first thing is what? The first thing is I will change the position property of this box item. I am changing it from static to relative. Okay. And after that, what we do, just put another div block. Just a minute. Mm, yeah. In the container, I am taking another div block. Okay. In this div block, just a minute, where is the, yes, this is the div block. Let me define border wrapper. I think you are writing something, Adriana.
I'm reading what you're doing
You are
to
writing some.
understand it.
You are writing something.
Yeah,
No, I think
I'm reading.
yes. I think you don't need to write. I will provide you recorded recording as well. It uh,
Okay,
it will be best for you.
okay.
Yeah. Just I took the div class, div box, and assigned a class border wrapper, and just take this one and move inside the border wrapper. Okay. Now we have in this we have box item. Let me put another div here, name as border box. Okay. Let me define border also. From here, there is an option in the CSS site. Oh shit, my another session is going to end. Okay, we have 10 minutes. I can finish this topic. Okay. From here we can define the border. Let's suppose I just define the red color for the border, and it's a 2 pixels width of the border. and with the 8 pixel radius. Okay, you can see here is something red. Yeah. Now what is our purpose? Our purpose is the border should be something like this. For this, I will take the border box and box item parent class, which is border wrapper, and go to the CSS position properties and make it relative. Okay, and now after that, I will take the this border box and go to the CSS position properties and make it absolute. And after that, I will click on this full. You can see we have a border on the sides. Okay, now what we need little bit right and little bit in the bottom side. So from here we can control it like 5 pixel down and 5%, sorry, and 5%. Let just a minute. It will control from here like minus 5% like this. And from here we will define it as minus 5%. Okay, it will control something like this. I think it's clear.
Yes.
It
So
is.
both the boxes with the heading and the ones that have the border, you put them on relative, right?
Yes, basically this border wrapper have relative class. Now these both are working with respect to this with respect to their parent. I made it absolute with respect to its parent, and its parent is
That
border wrapper, which have a relative CSS relative property. Understand? I think it's clear for both of you.
Yes, it is
Okay,
clear.
that's great. That's great. I will also share recorded video, and you can use for the future reference. And if you still have any question, you can ask using WhatsApp or in the next session. Okay, what's the next thing? Let me create a new session link because it should expire after 5 minutes. So we'll meet in the next session. You can join the same link after 1 minute.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.